All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping straight into this one for your results. David Garman, we're in the sprints at Charlotte. David Garman all the way up front with a 12.425. Your top qual, Matthew Nasworthy in second, Ian Humphreys in third, Croak fourth, and Klosterman in fifth. We're going to jump straight in, get to the grid. David Garman out front in the number 06 car, all the way on your pole sitter. Starting outside pole, second place, Ian Humphreys. Third place, Nick Klosterman. And fourth place, Tony Martin. And fifth place, George Fiesel. And sixth place, Chris Watkins. Ladies and gentlemen, about to get this underway. Check out the sponsors. If you guys are here, you can see them. Start this show a little bit quick. That's all right, though. We are ready to roll. We just got out of the super lates, and we have jumped straight into the 410 sprints. We are at Charlotte, and we are in heat race number 1, ready to get the show underway. Jump back to the live screen. Guys coming around turn 3 and 4. David Garman, your pole sitter up front. Ready to get the show underway. This is heat race number 1, 10-lap event. We are ready to rock and roll. If you guys are looking at the screen right now, sponsors down on the bottom left, I got them on a rotation. NRI Machining's down there right now. You guys will be able to check out all the sponsors on the sponsor page whenever I do pull that up. If you would, please take some time, go check those guys out. Hit me up on Facebook if you guys need any more details or information. And we will get you rolling on that. Green flag's about to fly. Green flag's out. David Garman gets a good run. Humphreys in second place. Klosterman in third. David Garman is going to make his way around the track. Sprint car driver David Garman trying to get a win for himself out here tonight. David Garman with a 4/10 gap. Fantastic job out of him so far. Ian Humphreys running in second place. Nick Klosterman in third. Tony Martin in fourth. And Watkins going to round the top 5. A little bit of a change from a super late to a sprint car. We will see how these guys are going to fare. Garman up front running a 12.990. Humphreys 13.139. David Garman's on the high side screaming around Charlotte. Take a look back. Nick Klosterman. Klosterman's graving in his odds out there running the 26 car. David Garman with a good lead, 1.2 second gap, running 12.891s for the times. David Garman still up front, running 12.849s. We're 7 laps in. 10-lap heat race number 1. Tony Martin in the 22 car. Get a little bit different look. David Garman out front. We're on lap 9, coming around to lap number 10. White flag is about to come out. There it is. White flag's out. David Garman, 2-second gap in the rest of the field. Ian Humphreys doing a good job of holding on to second place. Klosterman doing a good job of holding on to third. Top 4 advanced. The rest you will see in the B main. Checkers out. Garman's going to take it. Your race winner for heat race number 1. Humphreys going to be in second. Klosterman in third. Fourth, Tony Martin. And fifth, Chris Watkins. And Fiesel is going to round out the end of your field. All right, here we go. Heat race number 2. Starting in first, your pole sitter for tonight's heat race number 2, Matthew Nasworthy in the 071. Starting outside pole, second place, Matthew Croak. Starting in third place, Matthew Helm. Fourth place, Matt Tejon. And fifth place, the number 34, Falcon Smith. All right. Take a peek at the sponsors one more time before we go live. Ladies and gentlemen, the sponsors you see on the screen, one of the ones that I will shout out right now is Chris Watkins over at Adrenaline Spike Designs. I've had Chris do a lot of work for me. We've been communicating for a while on different projects that we've been looking at, and Chris is an absolute fantastic graphic design guy. He does all the wraps for all the guys in the league. If you guys are out there watching, you do race on iRacing, and you do need a wrap, hit up old Chris Watkins, and he will get you together with that. All right. Pace truck's going to dip off in the infield. Nasworthy is going to lead us around the track. Nasworthy's going to take off, and a green flag flies. Broke second place. Helm in third, making their way around the race line. 10-lap heat race event. Sprint cars are a little bit different now after the update that I found out. Oh, Croak down on the bottom of the raceway. It looked like he hit the infield tire. We have a caution out, ladies and gentlemen. We
Anarchy machine
right
located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away. The impossible will take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this right here was the incident. Matthew Croak. I think I heard one of the guys come up over the radio, see if he wanted to test if the Uke tire moved down on the bottom, and he confirmed that it did not. So Matthew Helm took a little bit of a tumble, but that is all right. We're going to go back to the live screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, heat race number 2. We are 2 laps in, I do believe. SDK says 3, but I think we're 2. So we're under caution currently. Take this time to go look at a couple sponsors. Check them out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we may or may not wait on the tow time for Croak. But that's all right. 4 cars out on the racetrack now. Heat race number 2. All the guys in the league have done an absolute fantastic job racing with the new update. Giving people a little bit of room, trying to get used to the cars. We're in heat race number 2. We are about to go green. Pace truck dipped off in the infield. These guys are going to come around turn 3 and turn number 4. And Nasworthy's going to take off at the green flag. The 071 GoPro of Matthew Nasworthy out front, leading the charge. Hellman behind him. Looks like we got a race for second on our hands. Looks like Smith's trying to work his way up the line. Tejon's throwing his car up in there. A little bit of contact. Oh, everybody kept it on the racetrack. Gives us a new second place. Falcon Smith, Matthew Hellman behind him, Tejon in 4th. Your rundown, lap 6 out of 10. Nasworthy, your race leader. Smith in 2nd, Hellman 3rd, and Tejon in 4th. Sprint car is a whole other animal, I've heard, on the iRacing platform. A little hard to hold on to. They updated everything on the game, on the simulator. Sorry, everyone's going to roast me for that. They updated everything on the simulation, and they changed quite a bit. So we've got tire wear, all kinds of different things. So Nasworthy with a comfortable gap. 3.5 seconds on 2nd place. Nasworthy doing a great job. Lap number 9. Next time by, white flag will come out. Nasworthy's going to take it home. White flag's out. Nasworthy up front. Smith in 2nd. Tejon in 3rd. Croak came back out onto the raceway. Checker flag goes. Nasworthy across the line. Smith, second place. Tejon in third, and Croak in fourth. Fantastic job out of all the drivers in heat race number 2. All right, this will be tonight's B main. 3 cars on the track. Starting in first place, the number 6 machine, your pole sitter for tonight's B main, Chris Watkins over at Adrenaline Spike Designs. Starting outside pole in second place for your B main event, Matthew Helm in the 133. And rounding out the end of your field in third place is George Fiesel. You guys saw it here. Waiting for some guys to grid up, get out there on the track. Matthew Helm's out. Waiting for old Chris Watkins over at Adrenaline Spike Designs. We do have a little bit of a logo hiding my pretty face up there, so we'll uncover that. All 3 drivers are out on the track. Take a look at the sponsors one more time. Dirt Anarchy on the top left, that's who you see driving. Anarchy Custom Wraps and Designs, 06 Racing Productions, Buckwheats Customs, 4M Customs, Adrenaline Spike Designs, and NRI Machining. My sponsors include Blueprint Event Rentals, Holbrook's Hometown Pharmacy. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting me and my endeavors. And thank you to the rest of the sponsors supporting all the drivers in Dirt Anarchy. And if you guys are watching this at a later date, thank you for coming out. Appreciate you following the channel, following the stream, following the broadcast, following along with Dirt Anarchy. So, Chris Watkins bringing these guys around. You see his picture down there on the bottom of the screen. So, here we go. Pace truck's going to take us around one more time. Dip off in the infield, and these guys are going to be underway. If you guys do remember, I did have a surgery. I've recently recovered quite a bit from it, so I've been out racing my own dirt oval kart. There'll be some more content on that on my channel. I'm going to be posting some things up on there. There's one video up right now. If you guys want to see some of it, go check it out. But there'll be more content to come with that. So, all right. Green flag flies. Chris Watkins takes off in the B main. Chris Watkins with an early lead. Helm following in behind, and Fiesel in behind Helm. Chris Watkins up front, do a little bit of a look on his car. That is an Adrenaline Spike Designs car, ASR Racing all over it. See Adrenaline Spike Designs up there on the hood, up on the roof, on top of the wing. Fantastic job in the wraps. He does a lot of the wraps for the guys in our league. Pretty much all of them. Does quite a bit of them, so great job out of him for doing all the wraps for the guys and giving them great prices. So if you guys do have any wraps you can do race on iRacing platform, hit up Chris Watkins at Adrenaline Spike Designs. Back here, B main. Matthew Helm, George Fiesel trying to battle it out. George up on the high side, trying to find grip wherever he can. Matthew Helm down on the low. George Fiesel making the pass for second. Going to push his way up into second place. Watkins, Fiesel, and Helm. That's a rundown. Caution's out. Oh, boy. Not sure what happened. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by NRI Machining, located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away, the impossible would take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
All right, this is where it happened. Chris Watkins running up in first. A little bit of contact. Ooh, just got a little loose there. But car didn't die. He kept it rolling. But we are going to hop back to the live screen and get this back underway. So when Chris Watkins goes back and watches this, I can tell him that he did bring out a caution tonight. Oh, man. Chris is a great driver. I always love coming out here and racing with Chris. He's one of the more challenging guys to race with because he is so darn good. So excellent job out of Chris Watkins. We're going to have a battle now. The fast car on the track is in the back, so we're going to see how these guys handle it. George Fizel, your race leader for B main 15 lap event. Helm on the outside and Watkins in the back. Green flag flies. Fizel takes him around. Fizel out front. Watkins moving up into second place. I'm going to be working on throttle control, trying to take care of the car around the turns. It's going to be a little bit different than it was before. I had a hard time driving a sprint car in the first place. Put me out there with a new update, and I'm not sure what I'll do. But I do feel that the supers and the pros have been a little bit better for me. I've been running a little bit better with them. I don't know if I'm just running about the same that I was before and everybody else is still trying to get used to it or not, but either way, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. George Fizel out front running a 13.461. Chris Watkins in second, 13.717. Matthew Helm in third with a 13.868. Your race leader, Fizel. Take a peek at him. That is an Anarchy Custom Wrap and Design car. Michael Mitchell over at Anarchy Custom Wraps and Designs. Portsmouth, Ohio Vapors Incorporated. All over it. That's down here in the local area of Portsmouth, Ohio on 23, the Souder Trail, if anybody was wondering. Fantastic vape. Ooh, George getting a little bit loose here. We are going to change the camera angle up because Chris Watkins is coming up in behind him. Might make a little bit of a race for the B main here. 13 laps into the 15 lap event. Chris Watkins on the low side trying to get a run on George Fizel. Watkins up here ripping the lip, trying to get the cut down line. We're on lap 14. One more time by. White flag is out. This will be the last lap. It's going to come down to this. These guys are in here racing for position for the A main. George Fizel doing a good job of holding on to that sprint car. Driving it. Chris Watkins down on the low side trying to find the traction, but he cannot. He's going to take second place. Fizel first. Watkins second. Helm in third for the B main event. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going to a warm-up, I do believe. So, we will be right back.
Mic off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drivers are out there doing a warm-up. You can see some of the lap times for the warm-up here. Not too shabby out of some of the guys. David Garman up front with a 13.181. out there throwing sliders, getting some practice in on a good old warm-up. So, take a look at the sponsors. Look at it one more time. Anarchy is out here putting on a show for the people tonight. If you guys are out there watching, thank you so much for coming out. Guys, appreciate everybody coming out and supporting them. I'd like to go back and watch their own replay, see how they did throughout the night, throughout the race. So, great for all of them. If you guys are watching now while we're live, that's great. And if you guys are watching this at a later date, thank you for coming out and supporting the channel. So, if you guys need me for anything, hit me up on Facebook. Get all kinds of information out of me on Facebook. I do have the channel over there. So, without further ado, your rundown. Here's the grid for the A main. Starting at first, your pole sitter for the night. Believe it or not, we did do an invert, and I don't know if these guys are ready for it. But starting on your pole, Matthew Helm in the 133 machine. Starting outside pole in the 6 car, Chris Watkins. Starting the 3rd place, George Fiesel in the number 33. 4th place, Matthew Croak. 5th place, Tony Martin. 6th place, Matt Tejon. 7th place, Nick Klosterman. 8th place, Falcon Smith. 9th place, Ian Humphreys. 10th place, Matthew Nasworthy, and you cannot see it, but I will slide it up. Oh, actually, I can't. Well then, we're cuts it off. David Garman's down there in 11th place. So, great job at all the drivers so far. Head over to the race tab. Matthew Croak out there in the front. I hit the wrong button. I absolutely hit the wrong button, but that's okay. We're back. All right. So, starting up front, Chris Watkins, George Fiesel up there in the front. We're going to see how they hold on to this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Pace trucks dipping off in the infield. We are going to get this race underway. Coming around turn 3 and turn number 4, the 33 of George Fiesel. Going to take the green flag. Chris Watkins on the outside. Tony Martin working the inside of the line. Chris Watkins going to stay up on the high side. The inside does not look like it's where it is right now. So, Chris Watkins ripping the high line. Got a couple guys in behind him trying to make it work. Matthew Croak, average sprint car driver out here trying to make a name for himself in the number 2 machine, making his way around the high side of Charlotte. George Fiesel with a comfortable lead, half second over Chris Watkins. Matthew Croak trying to push his way up in through the field. Tony Martin in 4th. Rounding that top 5 is Ian Humphreys. Little spread out up front. Tony Martin, Ian Humphreys having a little bit of a battle for 4th place. Looks like Ian's going to go ahead and pull away with it. Going to run up on the high side. Nick Klosterman trying to work his way up into the top 5. Got a good race. The guy that we were watching was David Garman. Took away qualifying in heat race number 1. He's in 6th place. He's got a lot of time to try to work his way up this field. We're going to see what David Garman has in store for us tonight. Sitting in 6th place right now. See where he is here in a couple laps. Fiesel, comfortable lead out front. 7/10 on the 2nd place, Chris Watkins. Matthew Croak falling in behind Watkins, trying to find a different line, trying to catch up with that leader. George Fiesel doing an excellent job of holding on to the race car. He ran good qualifying for the super lates. Little shaky in the feature, but that's all right. Ooh, Chris Watkins getting a little loose here. Turn 1 and turn 2. That's going to change it up a little bit. Ian Humphreys going to move on the outside of Chris Watkins here. Chris Watkins is now pushed back into 3rd place. He's not going to get the run. A little bit too much throttle, maybe, not sure. David Garman's going to push his way up into 4th place. He's trying to make the move on Humphreys. David Garman with the slider on the 53 Ian Humphreys. David Garman up into the top 3. Fantastic job out of him here tonight. Your leader, Fizel, with a 2.5 gap on your second place position. Matthew Croak, good job out of George Fizel up there running. Croak, second place. Garman in third. And Humphreys in fourth. Watkins is going to round out your top 5. Focus in here on David Garman. If you guys watched the commercial in the beginning of the broadcast, you will see the very last one presenting Dirt Anarchy Season 3. That was produced by 06 Racing Productions, and that is David Garman. Absolutely fantastic. If you guys need any graphic design done or work for animations or for commercials or any type of thing, hit up David Garman. You can find him on Discord. If you can't find his information, just look me up on Facebook, Dirt Static Esports, and I will point you in the right direction. Chris Watkins, 5th place. Ian Humphreys right in front of him. We'll take a look back. Tony Martin running in 6th. Looks like we are about to run into lap traffic. We're going to look in on the leader here. Already ran into lap traffic once, made it around him pretty easy. Matthew. Whoa, here we go. David Garman pushes his way up into second place. George Fizel up into the wall. David Garman might have a look at the lead. We might have a lead change here on lap 18. David Garman a little wall tap. George Fizel losing a little bit of grip into turn number 1. He's going to try to figure that out in the next couple passes, but if he does not, David Garman is going to take away that lead. David Garman the big run. Garman on the low side. Throwing the slider on the 33 Fizel. Oh, a little bit of contact between lap cars. I don't know if George Fizel got hit there or not. That might change things up for our leaders there. We're going under caution.
Brought to you by NRI Machining, located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away, the impossible will take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. A little bit of mishap between Klosterman and Falcon Smith. Klosterman gets a little loose, comes down and cuts Falcon, and we are going to see. Not sure what happened here. We're going to change camera angles. I just want to make sure that I want to see if that hit George Fizel or not. So we will take a peek at this. Not sure if it did, but we'll do a little slow-mo here. We'll do the slow-mo right here and a little bit of contact. That did bump George Fizel's front left. Not sure if that's going to make a big difference, but they are green flag and underway. George Fizel's all the way out front. Jump over to the live screen. Croak on the inside. David Garman on the outside. MI George Fizel. We're going to have a race for the lead here, folks. Track's getting a little bit more slick, a little bit more worn out. Chris Watkins is going to go up, get into the wall. He's going to drop back a couple positions. We got a new race leader, David Garman, in the 06 Racing Productions. David Garman up there in that beautiful sprint car. George Fizel is going to drop back in 3rd place. David Garman out front with the second lead on your 2nd place, Matthew Croak. We're going to see if Fizel can try to get that position back from Croak. Looks like the lines are changing a little bit. The top side's no longer giving that good of a run. Drivers are going to have to try to figure out what to do here. Track conditions change. Track state changes. Going to have to start changing lines, trying to figure something else out. See how these cars are a little bit harder to get a hold of. A lot of these guys are getting a little bit looser on the turn. Not sure if that contact with George's front left had anything to do with the way his car's driving, but he looks like he's holding on to it all right. Doesn't look too bad. Climbing his way from the back of the field. Nasworthy making his way up through. David Garman up front with a comfortable lead. Be nice if we could get it to lock on something other than the pace car. Here we go. David Garman all the way up front. try to pay attention to David Garman's line here on Charlotte. Try to figure out what he's got going on. Klosterman went down into the pits. Just seeing him right there on the screen. David Garman still finding traction on that high side. Doing a fantastic job here tonight holding on to the car. Croak, second place, 28 laps into a 40-lap A-main. Croak up into the wall. Nasworthy's past Fizel. Fizel is out of the running for the top three. We'll see if he can try to figure something out and get himself back up there. Maybe a little bit of front-end damage. Maybe that car isn't driving the way that it should be, but we are under caution. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Brought to you by NRI Machining, located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away, the impossible will take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
Not sure what happened here. I think Chris Watkins was trying to limp it. Maybe had some damage. Not too sure. He's down there trying to run the low line on the raceway and just got a little bit locked up there. So Chris is going into pits. Your race leader, David Garman, is up front. Croak in behind in second place. Nasworthy in third, Fizel in fourth, and Tony Martin in fifth, rounding out your top five. Take a little bit different look around the track. At the chopper view, drone view, whatever you want to call it. David Garman out there in the front, ready to get this race underway. Right there is a look out of David Garman's cockpit. Not much room to move in these sprint cars. Anything on the right side, you're completely blind to. So, right there's a look at the rest of the field. 28 laps in on a 40-lap event, I do believe. Croak waiting patiently on the outside of David Garman for the green flag to drop. Trying to get a good run on him. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round turn 3 and turn 4. We're on the right rear of David Garman. David Garman gets on the gas. Green flag's out. And he is pedal to the metal. David Garman sliding up the raceway a little bit. Doing a fantastic job holding on to it. We'll go to the left rear of David Garman. See Matthew Croak in behind. George Fizel. Oh, David up into the wall. Just a tap. That's all right. We'll go back up and check out the raceway. 06 David Garman. Don't count out Matthew Nasworthy. He came from the back. He's pushed his way up into third place, trying to make a move for second. David Garman out front. Croak second. Nasworthy in third. Watkins in fourth. And Smith in fifth. Fizel, something happened. Dropped back on the raceway. I'm not too sure what happened to George. Here we are, Croak trying to run down David Garman, the leader. David Garman earlier had a nice, comfortable lead. Now that lead has dwindled a little bit. Matthew Croak starting to kind of figure something out. We'll take a look back. All these drivers are nice and spread out across the field. Everybody running decent race lines. David Garman has put that gap back up to a second and a half. Fantastic job. Fantastic driving under David Garman. George Fizel down on the low line. David Garman running into lap traffic. "36 laps in on a 40-lap event. David Garman, the race leader, 2.5 second gap on second place. Croak in second. Caution comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back.
Brought to you by NRI Machining, located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away, the impossible will take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
Not sure what happened here. I think Ian Humphreys just might have taken a spill right here, and the caution came out. Better be safe than sorry. So, back on the live screen. I think George Fizel, who was your race leader in the beginning, may or may not have had a little bit of car trouble. He was hanging on to the low line trying to figure it out. So, rundown. David Garman out front, Croak in second, Nasworthy in third, Smith in fourth, Watkins rounding out the top five, rest of the way down the field. Martin, Fizel, and Humphreys. We're 37 laps in on a 40-lap B main. A main, excuse me, A main. Let me correct myself real quick. This is the A main feature. Everybody's lined up, ready to go. Ian Humphreys may or may not have a flat tire. Looks like he did. Maybe. Nope. That tire's way down on the track, but I guess we'll figure it out. David Garman out front, your race leader. Green flag flies. David Garman in the 06 car takes off. Croak following closely in behind. Nasworthy in third place. Both these drivers trying to move up and take away the lead position. David Garman cruising into the turn, taking the high line. Not trying to work the car too much. Caution's out. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by NRI Machining, located in Macon, Georgia. The difficult we do right away, the impossible will take a little longer. Call 478-731-0496 for all your machining needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not tell the truth. I did, but I didn't. I've just been informed that Brandon Starnes accidentally hit the caution. That's all right, though. Make it a little bit more interesting. 38 laps in. We'll go green. They'll make a lap. And then we will go white, and they will make a lap. And then it will be the checker. So, about to fly again. Green flag flies. David Garman on the high side, trying to get a good jump off the start. Matthew Croak following him behind. 39 laps in of a 40-lap event, I do believe. Sometimes SDK is a little bit off, but yep, white flag's out. Here we go, lap 40. David Garman all the way out front. Croak trying to run him down. It looks like Nasworthy had some trouble. Falcon Smith has moved his way up into third place, ladies and gentlemen. David Garman's going to take the checker. Croak is going to come in second. And Falcon Smith is going to come in third with Chris Watkins following closely in behind. Great race out of all of these drivers. David Garman is going to be your top finisher tonight. Croak in second. And Smith in third. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. We're going to go get these guys, and we're going to do some interviews. Congratulations to all the drivers. Fantastic job out here tonight. If you guys are out there watching, thanks for coming. Sponsors down at the bottom left of the page. If you guys did forget, see them all on a rotation down there. But thanks for coming out. We're going to go get these guys, and we're going to do an interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with me here, I have the P1 finisher for tonight's A main event. 40 laps around Charlotte. David Garman started in the back, worked his way up to the field, and finished up front. David, what a performance. How did you do, man?
Well, the result speaks for itself, right? I mean, I won the race. Um, no, I felt really good, a lot better than I did in practice this last week. I was just killing tires and burning tires, and I don't know, just towards the end of my 40 lap stints that I was practicing, it would just, I couldn't control it. And then, I don't know, I was just working in that warm up session before the feature and tried something completely different that I don't normally do, and it worked. And I was like, well, I guess I'll run with it. And then starting in the back, it was you had to be more cautious because this new update and everything with these cars, it's a whole different beast now. Just a huge difference. The wing actually makes a difference and all that stuff. But having to come through the back, had to be more cautious, and then just learned a few more things getting around those guys. And then once I got up to the front, I played around a little bit, but it was mostly just sticking to what was consistent and tried to hold it.
Yeah, well, David, you did an excellent job. I know that you're pretty good in sprint cars, but with the new update, it's going to be a learning curve for just about everybody out here. So I could tell that maybe you didn't feel 100% comfortable like you normally do, but you definitely figured it out quick enough and you made it around the track. So excellent job to you, David. Go ahead and give your shout outs for your sponsors, man.
Yeah, definitely left some speed out there. I know that, but we'll find it. Sponsor wise, so we got 54 Motorsports, NRI Machine, Drill and Spike Design, Track Dog Racing's 06 Race Productions, Anarchy Custom Wraps and Design. And I went through everybody twice again, so I think that's it. Yeah, thanks to those guys that support us and let us run this league and run these cars, throw on the show for the fans. So I appreciate it.
All right, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your P1 finisher for the A main tonight at Charlotte, David Garman. David, fantastic job tonight, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pull up the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, in the booth with me now, P2 finisher, Matthew Croak. Absolute fantastic job tonight, man. I know Fizell was up there in front of you for a second. Got a little bit of loose. Not sure what happened to Fizell, but he dropped back, moved you up a spot. David Garman came up and ended up getting a race win tonight. But you did an absolute fantastic job coming in P2. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, for the most of that race, I was just trying to save the right rear tire, or hopefully have a better tire at the end versus David, because I knew he was gonna have to do the field. But overall, I've been struggling honestly with this new update here, trying to get it figured out. It just doesn't drive the way I like. So
yeah, the new update's been a little bit of trouble for a lot of people. I know in the super lates, I myself have liked it more. In the dirt street stocks, I hate it. Whenever it comes to the sprint cars, I haven't been in them yet, but I could tell by watching the race from up in the booth that the drivers were having a little bit more difficulty trying to hold on to the car. So everything's changed a little bit. Everyone's tried to malleate the way that they drive and the technique that they use, but he did a good job of staying on it, finishing second place here tonight. Absolute fantastic show. Tell us a little bit about your sponsors, man.
yeah, first off, I have to thank M9 Performance. They make some of the best setups for sprint cars, and now we have Team 53 on board for asphalt stuff, so we have a little bit of everything. Power Outdoors, Michael Sportswear, Velocity Race Designs for the wrap, and my own personal team, Phantom Motorsports. Without them, I wouldn't be anything like I am today. And I have to thank Brandon for the league and you for the broadcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Matthew Croak, your P2 finisher tonight for the 40-lap A main event at Charlotte in the sprints. Absolute fantastic job. All right, next we'll be pulling up in the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, your P3 finisher. Absolute fantastic job, Falcon Smith.
Appreciate it, Marcus. Had a pretty good run going there. Not much you can do with a fixed setup here, but I tried a couple things, hoping it would come in a little better when it slicked off. I think it worked out for us.
Yeah, I know you hung back a little bit throughout the feature. Wasn't sure what was going to happen, but it looked like you were one of the guys that saved your tires, and you were intelligent in doing that. So, new update made it a little bit different. Made guys had to try to form new driving habits, but you did a great job tonight holding on to it. So what was going through your mind out there while you were on the track?
Just really trying to find a place to run and be consistent, and like you said, not burn the tires off of it. Really 40 lap race. Just wanted to survive till the end. We caught a caution there. We got involved in a caution. Really kind of saved me from going a lap down, but caught a caution there shortly after that. Was able to get bunched back up, and that was about the time everybody else was starting to fall off, and we were starting to pick up a little bit.
Well, Falcon, you did an absolute fantastic job here tonight. You have any sponsors you want to shout out to anybody?
Yeah, appreciate Dirt Anarchy for putting this thing on. Appreciate you for broadcasting it over at Dirt Static Esports. I thank Crub Brothers Racing, 5-6 Graphics for making us look good. ML Performance, Spuds, Used Cars, and Live Bait, and Dix County Line Carryout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Falcon Smith, your P3 finisher for the 40-lap A main at Charlotte in the sprints. Fantastic job, Falcon.
I appreciate it. Hope to talk to you soon.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of our show. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Stream in, and soon we'll take one last look at the sponsors. All the sponsors are out there on the page are the entire reason why we can come out here and do this. If it wasn't for the guys that are on that page right there, then we would not be where we are today. So fantastic job to Dirt Anarchy. Fantastic job to all the drivers out here in the Super Lates and the Sprints. If you guys watch both shows, thanks for coming out. If you watch this one, thanks for coming. Go and check out some more of the content on the stream. I've been racing dirt karts lately, so I've had a little bit of a dabble and time into that. If you guys want to go out and check that out, I'll have more videos posted on the stream. But thanks for coming out and watching. I hope you all have a great night and a